Hi and welcome to Lizaboo. So this is a very long video that has taken ages for me to put together because last year was just such a whirlwind of stuff going on, and basically I wanted to share with you where I've been and what I've been doing because hopefully perhaps my experience might help some of you out there. So as you will know from my videos, in January of last year I was made redundant and I made the choice to use the opportunity basically to start my own business. And that really swallowed up most of my year because there was so much of myself that I had to put into it and just dedicate so much time and energy into that project and getting things off the ground that my blog kind of took a huge step back really because it wasn't my main focus. I need to get those monies in. So basically I wanted to kind of share with you what I've been doing. So I created Liberty Mind and I will share the links down below in the video. And basically Liberty Mind is my business and it aims to help people in the workplace particularly with mental health and also just generally improving their skills. And then the other side of my business is mentoring individuals. So I don't like the word life coach because it sounds really 80s, but basically my personal mentoring is there for people that are kind of stuck in a life rut and need someone to help them kind of get out of it and sort of help them to get productive with their life and decide what they want to do. So those two sides of my business are basically what it's about. I'm really passionate about people. I love helping people, which is one of the reasons why I started a blog in the first place. But establishing this business has been a real exciting project and one that I've really loved doing. So I'll share all of the links to Liberty Mind, the website, and an introductory video as well, because I had a company do a professional video for me about the business. So yeah, the whole year has just been crazy, creating the website, going to lots of meetings, lots of marketing, lots of networking, just basically shoving myself down as many people's throats as possible to get some business in. So yeah, it's kind of been a crazy year. In 2 weeks time it would have been a year since I was made redundant, and it's crazy how much has changed by then. So for any of you that have been made redundant and are thinking about the opportunity of starting a business, just do it. That is what I would say. Honestly, it has been a very tiring, definitely stressful experience. So there are always pros and cons to everything that we do in life. There's always that balance. So yes, it's been really exciting. I've loved being my own boss, having my own time schedule, just basically being able to start something that I'm really passionate about as well. But of course there's always the cons of that, which is it's tiring, it's stressful, you get a lot of anxiety about financial worry. So it's kind of all of these emotions and feelings that are all going on at once. So it's kind of all the positives and then all the negatives. But I wanted to share with you some of the things that I've done and learned, and hopefully if you're looking to start a business this year or just want to know more about kind of doing your own side hustle, then hopefully this video will really help. So like I said, Liberty Mind is my business and there's a few things that I've really learned in the process. So one of the first things I did, because I absolutely hate accounting and numbers, is I got myself a really good accountant. So that is the one thing I would always say, make sure you get yourself a really good accountant so that whenever you get anything through the post you can just go, hey, what's this about? And they go, oh, it's for this, and you can just go, cool, I'll send it to you to do. And all the financial paperwork is just taken care of. It's probably the best investment I've ever made in my business. So highly recommend finding a good accountant. If you don't know where to start, because yes, there are some slightly dodgy ones out there, ask people. So ask someone to recommend, because that's how I found my one. There's loads of accountants out there, but honestly I would always go by recommendation. The other thing I massively would say is invest well in your website. So I spent a lot of time and money on my website, and it's in constant progress and improvement, because it's like a shop front window, isn't it? You know, you've always got to change it and make sure it's up to date, and make sure it's representing the best of your business. So massive time and money spent on my website and making sure that was really interesting and informative for people when they landed on it. So again, that's another big thing I would definitely invest in if you want to start a business. And the other thing I would say as well is being really social on social media and getting active and talking about what you're doing, and letting people know what you're doing as well, because otherwise, you know, no one's gonna know. One thing I would say didn't work for me is networking. I don't really enjoy networking anyway. There's a lot of bravado and falseness, and I don't know, people just seem really strange in networking environments. I'm actually a very social person, but when it comes to networking, I really don't enjoy it because I just feel like there's a lot of falseness to some people, and I'm really not a false person, so I go in there a little bit hippie and happy, and they'll be like, who is this woman? So it didn't work for me, and it didn't work for me for a number of reasons. One, because the networking events I went to, they didn't have the right kind of businesses there. So I get it that it's all about referral work and who you know and all that kind of thing, but I honestly spent so much time at networking events last year. In fact, I need to add it up how much time I spent at networking events just trying to get contacts and referrals and all this kind of stuff, and it just didn't equate to anything. It was such a massive waste of my time, and it was just so disheartening that you go along to these things, you don't even make friends at some of them are just weird. At a few networking events I actually made friends with people, which is amazing, so I've now got like new people in my circle, but aside from that I didn't actually gain any business. So I would really put networking to one side until you've actually got a little bit more stability going on, because yeah, networking, it takes a long time to fruition into something. So it just wasn't for me. One thing I would say that massively has worked for me is digital advertising. So specifically Google advertising. So I know a lot of people are a bit scared of Google ads, like, oh, I don't know where to start. Again, I would hire a specialist to help you set up all of your ads and make sure that your ads are relevant to the right pages on your website. I know very little about Google advertising, so I hired someone to help me set up all of that, and actually that's been my biggest lead generator so far, and really helped me to get business in. The other thing that surprises many people that actually gets business in is like direct mail, so actually sort of sending out posts to the people, the contacts that I'd like to work with. And that's quite old-fashioned, I know that, it's very traditional marketing, but it works because if you think about it, we are bombarded online all the time. It's so overwhelming. So actually to get, like, I send a massive bright yellow envelope with sweets and a brochure and just make it really fun, that I've actually got a lot of my leads from as well. So that I would highly recommend. Just be different and just try and stand out. That's, you know, one of the biggest things you should be trying to do as a business. So again, really good thing to do. The other not so great thing to do, which again comes at a costly lesson, is print advertising. So a lot of local papers and even sort of more specialised trade papers will encourage you to try and, you know, advertise in their magazine because they go directly to the people. It really doesn't work. So I've done, I think, about 3 different types of print advertising this year in different magazines, and my return on investment, 0. And trust me, it was the biggest waste of money. It pains me about how much I spent on print advertising. It cost me more than Google advertising, and I get more from Google advertising. It's crazy. So just avoid print if I were you. But again, this is all dependent on what business you are. So my advice could be completely irrelevant to your business type. So you really have to try and get to know people that are doing similar things or in your similar field and really work out what works, because what works for me and my business might not work for yours. So this is just from my experience, and hopefully it gives you some advice and guidance towards what you want to do. The other thing I would definitely say is getting out there. And so for example, especially because my business is a B2B business, so business to business, and I'm trying to get into organisations to help their employee wellbeing, then essentially I need to either talk to the director or the HR manager. So what I'm trying to do is obviously get in front of people that are the decision maker. And one of the best ways to do that is a lot of the time is go to big events like conferences, or even big kind of trade events, and try and gain a speaking slot, or even do a speaking slot at a networking event, because that gets you far more exposure than just going along and being social. Because as well, you get to talk about your expertise and what you know and what you do in a very non-salesy way, so it's very natural. And people quickly learn about what you're doing and are actually interested, so you just gain so much more from that. So yes, definitely get out there and spread the word of what you're doing. I think my last kind of golden nugget that is really important is, and this is for any kind of platform and any business, is to build up your email subscribers, because then you're creating a base, a foundation of people that are actually interested in what you're doing. So that is really important. And that could be through different ways. Like if you're selling a product, perhaps it's through a competition. But for me, for my business, because it's a lot of it's B2B, it's kind of like through downloads and ebooks and guides. So getting people to kind of fill out a form and then download it. So that's kind of what I'm doing. And what I've been busy doing as well, because it does take time, and getting leads in and everything takes time. I think that's one of the biggest lessons I've learned. It's really easy when we're online and we're living in this kind of instant society to just presume that everything happens overnight, and it doesn't. Things take so much time, and it's really frustrating because I'm a really impatient person. But you quickly learn that, you know, if you're going to build the foundations of something good, you have to take your time massively. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been up to. If you're interested in maybe doing some personal mentoring with me, that would be amazing. If you're kind of stuck in a bit of a life rut at the moment, or you've got the January blues and you're not looking forward to your new year, then just ping me an email or go to Liberty Mind, and you can discover what I can do to help you out. So I hope you found this video really interesting. Don't forget to subscribe. I will be getting back on it and being more regular now, as much as I can, and I hope you've gained some insight into how you can perhaps start your own business and some of the golden nuggets to try and use. Thank you so much for watching and listening, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.